Cruinniú returns in 2026 with a vibrant free programme celebrating creativity for children and young people across County Clare. Taking place on Saturday, June the 6th, the National Day of Free Creativity invites young people to explore, make, perform and imagine together. So to find out more about this, delighted to be joined by Cora Gunter. She's the Acting County Librarian and Creative Ireland Coordinator with Clare County Council, and also Eva Birdthistle, who is the Creative Communities Engagement Officer with Clare County Council. They're both with us live in studio this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Derrick.
Good morning, Derrick.
Eva, if I can start with yourself, I suppose a huge weekend of events planned and an awful lot of work gone into doing so.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say that this year we're delighted to say that the programme is actually designed by young people for young people. So earlier this year we had Anna Collimer working with 3 local schools, bring them into the gallery inside Soul Gallery, and we did a number of workshops, and out of that came all these fantastic ideas that the kids really wanted to see at the festival. We created what we call a creative pick and mix. So when we did the open call, we asked artists to choose from that or be inspired by it. So the following programme is basically inspired by what they wanted, and I'm absolutely delighted that there's some events that have literally been translated into their vision.
Fantastic. So there is a sense of ownership then for some of the people that are coming to it.
Absolutely. So we've sent these programmes back into the kids and the schools where they actually help design it. And what I'm hoping is when they actually go through the programme, they actually see their voices in the activities. Whether they'll turn up or not, I think they're more like curators than actual participants. But hopefully the few of them will participate. But they definitely saw the ownership and the responsibility to come up with really different and unusual ideas for their other children in the county.
Yeah, and I guess, Cora, that's an important point, because I remember speaking to a primary school teacher one time, and they kind of said that us as adults can never begin to understand what the child's world is, and what we might consider something that they would love, they might detest it, and that they have their own ideas of what makes fun.
Absolutely. Working in libraries, we're very conscious that it's not us telling young people about different aspects of their engagement, that we want to hear from them. Who are the authors they like? Who are the illustrators they want to see? What kind of books they want on the shelves? So this continues here with Cruinniú. I mean, one of the highlight events for me is the Paint My Hurl event there, because there was a real strong encouragement with Eva and the artist Anna in relation to sport and art, and how to kind of combine that you can be creative with sport, and this is the result. So young people can bring in their hurl and make it a piece of art that they might want to put on display rather than play with it.
Yeah, the next couple of blitzes around the county after that could be interesting with the colourful hurleys. Cruinniú, Eva, how many years is it running now, or what's the background
9 years.
to it? Yeah.
We'll be celebrating our 10th next year.
Wow.
So it goes from strength to strength, and we have strategic partners in place as well. Over the last 2 years, the Creative Ireland have worked tirelessly to find, and they're there for another 3-year period. So it's getting bigger and stronger, but I think making sure that children are reflected in the activities, exactly what you said, rather than us helicoptering our ideas and thoughts in on top of them, that they should be the curators. So I can see that this year is really good, and I know next year is going to be even better.
And maybe that point you made there answers probably the next question, just of the evolving, I suppose, of the festivals from day one to this year.
Absolutely. Well, I suppose the budget, first of all, has gotten a lot bigger from day one. Absolutely, yes. And I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, it's even bigger for next year. But it's not just the budget, it's also the experience of the people running it, but it's also the experience of the audience knowing what to expect, and I suppose expecting better every year from us as well.
I'm just looking through some of it here, and it is very much Cora county-wide. I just on the page I have open here in front of me, there's an event in Moy Community Hall, there's one here in the museum in Ennis, there's something out in the Killaloo Ballina Family Resource Centre, so and the Chockyola in Ennis Diamond, so it's certainly the four corners.
Absolutely, that's a big part of it. I mean, there's a lot of events here in Ennis and in Shannon as the main urban areas in Clare, but we really want to reach out to communities. So as you mentioned, I had a line in my head from Meelick to Milltown to Moy would have been the line I would have gone from Kilfenora to Killaloe. So it's all around the county. There's an activity, there's something for young people and their families to engage with. So hopefully there will be full participation at each event.
And also, just again, as I turn another page of this beautifully produced booklet that you have for it, and I know there'll be pictures of it going up on our social media and all the rest of it, and they can be collected at the various points. But just the Kilfenora event here stands out to me, because is it a case of marrying the heritage of a particular area of the county to the event? And obviously in Kilfenora it's showcasing music, dancing and storytelling. Yes,
so that came about as a project that occurred over a 6-week period. So this will be the end result of that 6 weeks. So it'll be a real, how will I put it, finale show, grand finale for the participants in Kilfenora National School and their families when they have that event up in the community hall there.
Take us through then, Eva, some of the other events that stand out to you. I know they're all standout events. I think you were saying something in the region of 25 different events for people to get involved in.
That's right. Now there are a few booked up, so I would be saying if you are interested, either head into the library and grab yourself a programme, or get onto the Cruinniú website and filter down to Clare, and you'll be able to see all the activities. But there's a few that I know that there are places still in. So the seaweed pressing with Wild Kitchen that's in Moy Community Hall that you just mentioned. We have monstrous mass making at the CBS Primary School, where you get to create a giant 2-foot monster mask. There's also at the Courthouse Gallery and Studios, there's filmmaking and animation workshops on the run up to Cruinniú, with the screening happening on June 6th from 4 to 6 p.m. And inside in Glore, even though they do have a lot of activities booked up, there is the big draw, which is this giant wall where you can get in and start drawing on the wall. And then this year they have the flower shop, which is a similar idea, but it's actually inspired by a museum in Dublin. So there's loads of other activities there, but they're kind of the 4 or 5 that I think would stand out at the moment.
Yeah, and lots of workshops as well. Cora, based around Glore, which is obviously a very accessible venue for the whole county.
Yes, we're delighted to partner with Glore. We partner with them in the building with De Valera Library. So yeah, there's a great synergy there with events on in both places. So there, as Eva mentioned, the big draw, but there's also the circus day outside the lines, and little lullabies for the smallies. So it's from 0 on up to 17. So we cover all age groups as well in that under 18 category.
Yeah, and I suppose like a lot of parents might tell you that the 5, 6, 7-year-old now compared to 15, 20 years ago, it's a totally different 5, 6, 7-year-old. So maybe the way that they'd engage with these kind of events has changed as well as the actual event itself changing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think they're very insightful and knowledgeable. The Ashtar is in the schools, so they learn through play. So this comes very naturally to them, and that would have obviously been a new model that wouldn't have been there 20 years ago. So definitely the creating and being artistic through play will be very important element in this as well.
And have you found that in terms of the kids coming into the library with the books that they're more engaged with, and maybe when you ask for that bit of feedback that you're getting a more maybe adult response from them?
I don't know about adults. I think they're very I think children have always had opinion, but they're very articulate now and well able to do that. I mean, one aspect of this is engagement is to create a poem or story that we are looking for Cruinniú, and it's about that spark of imagination. So we have a post box inside the library, so we're actively looking to get their opinions, no more than the fact that they curated this programme themselves through Eva and Anna at the the curating aspect of it.
And is that the ultimate future-proofing of it, Eva, the fact that it's continuously regenerating through the people that are actually engaging with it?
Absolutely, because obviously tastes change and evolve. The more we're exposed to different types of culture, young people especially, they become more discerning with what they'd like to experience. So as long as we listen to that, and the activity we did this year, we want to do that every couple of years to ensure that we're right on the moment, because we don't live that. We don't live their needs and wants. It's been a long time since I was that age. So, we got to listen to them. We've got to make sure that that we're clever with the type of activities. And even if they wanted to meet Taylor Swift, that's not achievable. But there are other things that we can do to ensure that there might be a Taylor Swift themed event. So it's really listening to what they want and seeing what we can actually achieve.
And it's just amazing the variety that has naturally sort of evolved from that.
Oh yeah, completely. So I suppose we're very mindful that children, whether you're into sports, whether you're not, that there is something there for everybody. The age profile is also really important, that the average age that we'd normally engage with is like 6 to 12 years of age, but it's really important that there are ages beyond that, before and after, that should be engaged with. So you can see from the programme, we've tried to get extremely varied so that it's touching all of those points.
I suppose, Cora, one thing is that there's such a difference between the hands-on stuff that they'll do, like the Paint My Hurley initiative, for example, and then the likes of your filmmaking, which has a bit more of a digital context to it. But I suppose that digital side of it, we've seen with devices and everything else, that children nowadays are just so adept at all that.
I don't want to say absolutely again, but I think the element of being engaged in the process of creating, and I mean, you can do that through technology as well as through pen and paper, or pressing seaweed, and that's one aspect that I saw in this, that there was that whole element of the environmental influence on young people, that they want to engage in the different elements to celebrate the environment and participate in an artistic way that way, and you can do that digitally as well. And I mean, we tell our stories. I suppose the origin of all of this is telling a story, and you can tell a story through a film or through a drama or through a piece of art, and that's what these young people are doing, and that's what we hope they'll enjoy on the 6th of June.
There's one part of it here that's just after frightening me, and I'm so afraid. I've 4 small lads at home, 3 boys and a girl, right? And just to read this out so people can understand my fear on it, it's the Family Circus Day that's being held in Glore, and it says children can bring your parents to share and enjoy the skills of the circus, such as aerial, hula hooping, spinning plates, juggling and more. And the last line in it frightens the life out of me, because it says, please note that parents or guardians are active participants in this class. Is there any chance at all, Eva, that could be edited before it's made public?
No, if you want your kids to take part in this class, you have to be with them. And I think what they mean by active participants...
Anything else I could go to?
I don't think you actually have to hang from the roof from silks. I think what you need to be there is almost like a guide and a hand to help your children experience this. So it's not as if you'd be dropping your children off and coming back in an hour's time. They want parents to stay in this particular workshop, because if you think about the type of circus skills, they probably do need support. And there's no better person than a parent to support their own child, physically and emotionally.
I think, Derrick, you doing
it just worries me now that we're being lured in, like.
Cartwheels as well now would be a good effort, and your children would enjoy it.
Once them big heavy doors in Glore are closed, it's hard to open them again, like, so... Not quite sure. As I say, look, there's a beautiful, beautiful booklet produced detailing all the events, and I suppose the fact as well that it's free, Eva, will make it very accessible to people maybe as well from that sense. So that was an important element. Well,
Creative Ireland, their whole reason for being is to ensure that people can access creativity by removing barriers. So for whatever reason in the past, if you haven't been able to do something creative, because they know creativity leads to well-being, so let's remove those barriers to ensure that everybody has the opportunity to engage. So all the Creative Ireland programming and Cruinniú is free of charge. And I suppose if you go to cruinniú.gov.ie or Google Cruinniú 2026, you're going to come up with the programme. It's happening all over the country, so even if you're not in Clare that particular weekend, you can just select the county you're going to be in and see what activities are there and see what's available. If you're looking for an actual hard copy of the programme, we have loads of them inside the library. I know Glore have them as well. So, pop in if you're in the area and grab one.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, great day ahead, and thanks to you both for coming into the studio this morning to corral us into hula hooping and whatever else was there in that circus thing. We'll have to see how all that plays out. The pencil and paper might be a little bit safer, but we shall see. That is Cora Gunter, Acting County Librarian and Creative Ireland Coordinator with Clare County Council, and Eva Birdthistle, who is the Creative Communities Engagement Officer with Clare County Council as well. And as they say, pop into the beautiful new library we have here in the county town, or indeed Glore, or head online to check out more information about all of that.